For blind people, Braille is literacy. Of the people who are totally blind that are in work, 90% of them are Braille readers. So Braille really is vital.
Braille gives visually impaired children and adults absolute independence. Without it, you are dependent on technology, which is great, but how else would children learn grammar? Without Braille, how would children learn how to spell? Because you can't hear that.
By listening, you lose a lot of spelling, grammar, punctuation. Layout is a big problem. So something like the Lego, where you can literally move letters around, is huge.
I started learning Braille when I was 5. It empowers me and enables me to do things that I would have never been able to do before, like entertainment, education, music.
Before Braille was invented, the world must have been a really dull place.
It's important to learn Braille in 2019 because it gives the Brailleist the chance to have an immersive experience of reading the same as a sighted reader.
My mum finds that reading Braille is just like touching a language.
What we are doing here today is showing the potential of Lego Braille Bricks to help children learn Braille and to engage with the process of Braille.
Before Braille Bricks, teachers made their own resources. They were not particularly reusable, they were not pretty, they didn't feel good. And of course, if you have a visual impairment, things feeling good is a really strong motivation to want to learn.
Actually, off-the-shelf stuff to help children learn Braille is not that common.
I made lots of resources that the Lego Braille Bricks are now replacing for me.
I've taught children with visual impairment for about 20 years now. When I first saw it, I thought, it's going to be fiddly, they're going to lose it, it's going to fly around the classroom. However, I witnessed its use sort of firsthand, and I just think it could be a revelation, I think, really, in teaching mathematics to young children with visual impairment. I think it's a really excellent product.
I've mainly used the bricks in Spanish. I use them to bring a fun element to learning. It's given us another tool to yet explore learning languages through a different medium. And all students seem to be fond of the product. Well, Paige, you enjoy it, right? Yeah. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's versatile, and there are all sorts of different games at different levels that we can play.
Obviously, Lego as a whole is just so much fun. But it's versatile. You can rearrange bricks. It's having something tangible that you can work with in so many ways.
It's different from anything I've done before, and especially with younger students, I think it helps them to spell and things, because you can, rather than having it just flat on paper and it's boring, you can fiddle and play.
If I was able to say what the letters were with my eyes, they would also be able to know because they could feel the Braille. And I think it was really cool because you can work together even if you can't see.
I love Lego and it's just so fascinating.
Visually impaired children, like all children, dislike making mistakes. If you're using a Braille machine, your mistakes are there, written large, for them to see and for their teachers to see. Children love being able to make something, unmake it if it's wrong, and make it again. And that is the important thing that Braille Bricks does. Lego Braille Bricks creates a scratch pad, just like a writing pad does for sighted children. It's incredibly versatile.
It's ridiculous that all it does for us really is give us convenient access to moving letters around, but that opens up so many doors, and that's a wonderful thing as a parent.
I would wholeheartedly agree that Lego Braille Bricks make learning more fun. The first experience I had of them, I gave them to my Year 12 students just to see how they would get on with them. I couldn't get them off them. We spent the whole lesson making up games and playing with them, and they loved playing with the Lego, they loved building with them, they liked making the words. It was just such an engaging and fun time.
I'm passionate about Lego Braille Bricks and teaching at NCW because we have the opportunity to transform children's lives. Lego Braille Bricks is doing that because it's making mathematics, English, Spanish, French, literacy far more accessible than it ever was before. You just have to speak to our kids. Lego Braille Bricks, the children love using them.
I wish I'd had them when I was at school. We did a lot of word searches, a lot of anagrams for English lessons, and whilst I could join in to a point, I could write down the letters off the board, I couldn't then shuffle them around. I couldn't see what patterns they could form. I wasn't able to engage fully. With something like these Lego bricks, I would have been as much a part of the class as everybody else, and it would have been really helpful.
Using the Braille Bricks yesterday, I saw that moment when a child actually has properly understood something, and we know what it feels like ourselves when we're trying to do something and it finally clicks into place and we say, yeah, I've got it. When you see that in a child, that is what keeps teachers going.